Bonjour. RedEye and I are here. RedEye and I. To tell you that taking time for you is a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. Not only is it okay, it is such a blessing for the whole world when you honor yourself. So today we are going to start by acknowledging our breath that we breathe, our heartbeat, our thoughts are such a gift. That moment someone pops into your inbox and you feel anxiety or you feel upset, that is a gift. That is time to go walk a mountain, go by the trees and ask yourself, what is it that is upsetting me? Because it's something that you have not digested. It's like a stone in your stomach. And now is the time to do it and not be mad at yourself or mad at the other person for triggering you, but to really honor that that feeling is real and valid and is there for you to understand how to love yourself even more by processing it, by chewing on it, because it's a hard rock that you need to chew on. So anyway, let's notice our breath. Let's notice our heartbeats. Let's get into class today. And I just thought it was important to remind you how valuable you and your emotions are. Because so many times just having a feeling causes anxiety. And we don't need to be living in a world that doesn't allow feelings to exist. So notice your beautiful breath. How deep can it go? Don't force it, just observe it. And greetings to you, Jabri Black. Thank you for saying hi in the chat box. Thank you all for being here. Keep on allowing that breath to be and allowing yourself to observe the rhythm. I am excellent. Thanks for asking. Notice the waves of breath. Notice how some are deep and high and some are a little more shallow. Notice the beating of your heart, the circulating of the blood that the heart is doing. Smile on your heart and feel your heart smiling back at you. Feel your light. Allow that relaxation to settle in. You deserve it. I don't have time is a real expression. I just want to remind you it's also a feeling. It could be anxiety. It might not be reality because you can possibly create this time for yourself. Even just 2 minutes to breathe. I honor you and I thank you for being here with me in this moment, breathing, having a heart that beats. I want you to ask yourself, what do I need from class today? What would I like to focus on for my whole being, my body, and my emotions, and my thoughts? And if you'd like, you can share this intention in the chat box or comment below. And also, if you know someone who needs to take a relaxation and a loving yourself class right now, please feel free to take a moment and share this in someone's inbox as you continue to ask yourself, what is it you need today? My name is Aviva, and my intention is to be here for all of you today and to continue to honor my emotions and everyone else's emotions and to know that everything is going to be okay. Jabri, your intention is to focus on your hands, your feet, in preparation for your life's works and drumming. Anyone else have any intentions out there? You know, it's so funny. I actually made some coffee, and I hardly make coffee, but I felt really tired right before I sat here to give you class. But I'm really not tired anymore. It's like the chi activated. But I have the coffee just in case. Let's breathe in our intentions. Release anything in the way. Breathe in your intentions. Release resistance. Breathe in your intentions. Release whatever you don't need. Be gone. Very good. Okay, so today I was thinking it's been a while since we've done exercising our eyes, which not only exercises your eyes, it exercises your face, your neck, your third eye, your cheeks. Well, that's part of your face. And we're going to do a mudra while we exercise. And I think I just made up that word this morning as I was meditating on what to do in class today. So I think that's a cool word. Exercising. So the mudra for the eyes is all the fingertips together. This is also good for headaches, and it's good for thinking clearly about things, and it's good for intuition. Not only getting in touch with it, but believing it. So while we do this mudra, it's just all the fingertips are together. So the pinky is to the pinky, the ring to ring, middle to middle, pointer to pointer, thumb to thumb. just resting sweetly, nicely against each other. And we're going to start. We're going to do this series of exercising that I do every day before I put my contacts in. And we're going to just look up and down 10 times. So just slowly look up and down. Take in all the colors, all the textures that you see. It's less than 10 minutes, this exercising routine. And probably, if I spent more time on it, I might not need contacts. But it's just a great way to take a break from the screen. We don't realize how much we might be squinting or straining our eyes when we're looking at our devices. And so it's really great to include some kind of exercising in your daily lives because tension in the eyes is tension in our lives, let me tell you. I lost count because I'm talking, but that's okay. We'll do one more for good luck. And then we're going to look straight ahead again. And we're just going to look all the way to the right and all the way to the left, going back and forth, seeing all the colors and textures. You might be like, I don't want to see the mess in my room. Or you might be like, wow, I didn't notice how beautiful this mountain range was till I started to just slowly bring my eyes across it. I'm reminded of natural beauty. That was 10. I don't usually do these with contacts in. It feels a little bit strange to the contacts. We're going to switch mudras, okay? We are going to do the mudra for the liver because in Chinese medicine, the liver and the eyes are very interwoven. So we're going to bring the thumb to the middle finger and the ring finger. It looks like a little wolf. Woof, woof. Again, the left hand, middle to thumb, and ring finger. It also helps with healing anger. So now what we're going to do is we are going to do a full circle with the eyes all the way around in one direction. Again, we're going to do this 10 times. When I first started doing that, that really hurt my eyes. And like there was like a point on top. Maybe it was a minor astigmatism where it's just like I didn't want to go. So that's just interesting to note and be patient with yourself. If you can't go all the way around, that's okay. We're going to go the other direction now. I think I make weird faces as I do this. It's okay to make weird faces. Good. Now we're going to squeeze the eyes shut and then blink as fast as we can. 2 more times. I think just 2 more exercises that we're going to do. Rub your hands together. This is called eye palming. You're going to make like a bowl of soup with your hands and you're going to bring this over your eyes, but you're not going to touch your eyes with your hands. They're just going to steep in this bowl of chi. And one more time, activating the palms. And the last one I think is the most fun. We're going to hold our finger up in front of our eyes. We're going to look at the finger, and then we're going to look somewhere in the distance. It could be 3 feet away, it could be 10 feet away. You're doing a yo-yo with your eyes. So near, far, as Grover says, back and forth. And just to expand on that, we are going to look at the finger and then follow it out to the end of our arm and then bring it back and forth. Another little yo-yo. Good job, everyone. You have now completed perhaps your first exercising routine. Good job. Give me 5. And just appreciate now your eyes. Send love to your eyes. Feel your eyes loving you back. Just appreciate these eyes like you would appreciate an expensive camera that you might have with all fancy lenses. So we're going to go ahead and start with the foot massage, the self foot massage that M.U.D.R.A requested. And then we'll stand up and do some other stretching. So what you want to do is rotate each toe a few times in each direction and then pull the toe away from the foot. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And pull. This little piggy drinks coffee. This one drinks lemon. This one goes to the store to get lemonade. 3 in each direction. And you're going to rotate that whole ankle that you got there. How cool is your ankle? Your ankle needs to rotate every day so that it stays WD-40'd. Bring the toes back and rub the bottom of the feet. It might tickle, that's okay. It's normal. Don't judge yourself. Tap. And then rub between your toes and the top of your foot. And tap all the way up to the knees and back down. Knees, down, knees, down, knees, down, knees. And then up to the thighs. Knees, thighs, knees, thighs, knees. And then all the way down, all the way up. It's like you're playing drums on your leg. And brush. Well done, my friends. Now we go to the other foot. Rotate 3 times and then pull away from the foot. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pull. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pull. Good for you, Jeffrey. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Rotate the whole entire ankle and the other direction. Do, 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 do. Pull the toes back and rock. Ah, ah, ah. Like I have a leaf on my foot from my walk. When you were a baby, you were already drumming, Jabri? Tap, tap, tap. Play those drums. Play those thumbs on your toes. By the way, Atlanta folks, I have exciting news. Rub between the toes. Remember I told you about my chocolate recipe that I made? Well, there's a health food store in Toco Hills called Good Nutrition, and they are handing out printouts of the recipe with a display of all the products that are in the chocolate. So it makes it very easy for you to go and get the ingredients to make your raw, homemade chocolate. You don't need to buy refined sugar. Isn't that exciting? Okay. Tap, tap, tap. And now we go up to the knee and down. Knees and down. And up to the thigh. Thigh. All the way down and up. And brush, brush, brush. Very good. We're going to do one more stretch before we stand up for the liver. I don't know if I'm going to knock that down. Do a straddle. Okay, legs are open and arms out. And then gently come to the right. Breathe deeply 3 times. Breathe into your center. Allow the breath to expand to every cell of your body and gently breathe out through every cell of your body. 2 more times. Other side. Deep. Expand the breath to every cell of the body and breathe out through every cell. Now stand up. We are going to do the muscle tendon change form, a little bit edited, and feel free to edit it for you, for your body's abilities and limited abilities. Okay. What else was I going to say? I was just about to say something else. Oh yeah. Would you like to smell some geranium essential oils? What I put on just before class. It also is, I think it's awakening. This says it's comforting. So maybe when you feel emotionally comforted, you feel more awake. I think a lot of times our emotions tend to tire us out. because it's like a rock in our way, right? Sorry, RedEye. RedEye and I are doing this class together. I will pop this a little bit higher. Okay. And there we go. Bring your hands together. Gratitude Mudra. Take a nice deep breath. That's delicious, isn't it? Bring the hands down. So the yin hand is inside the yang. All the yang is protecting the yin hand. The yin hand is the right hand for women and the left hand for men. Now bring the hands up to the sides. And the fingertips are pointing towards the ceiling. Feet are shoulder width apart. Bend those knees. And arms are lifted a little bit, like a breeze is helping you lift up. And just breathe. Feel that beautiful energy in the wrists. Make sure you're not hyperextending so that you can see your hands in your periphery. They're not stretched behind you. I do about 9 breaths for the stagnant stretches, the still stretches. Breathing deep into the center. Allowing the breath into every cell of the body and breathing out through every cell of the body. Excellent job. Wrists gently float up and then down like feathers. Then all the way around. And the hands to your heart. And down. Feet are shoulder width apart. Toes are pointed forward. Bend the knees a little bit. Grab onto an fluffy energy ball and bring this gently up an imaginary fluffy tube. Makes me want fluffy walls. And then push this fluffy ball higher and higher. Okay. And again. What kind of exercises do you do every morning, Shabri? Like sit-ups and push-ups and stuff? He just said he exercises every morning. And relax. Wrists up. And down. All around. Arms out to the sides. Feet are still shoulder width apart. I want you to please rotate that shoulder back. Opening up those pecs. Nice and slow. And bring the hand up to the heart level. And what you're going to do is push an imaginary fluffy ball to the left. A little bit further each time you circulate. Remember to share these videos with your friends so they can join us for class. Monday is the next one. Every Monday, Wednesday, 1:30 to 3. Until maybe I might go back to the Y soon though. Other side. Hmm. And up and down. Now we're going to turn our feet 45 degrees to the right. We're going to grab an imaginary fluffy ball and we're going to rotate it around in a circle. And we're going to rotate it out a little bit further each time, keeping those feet on the ground, but feeling the weight shift back and forth. I love you. In case nobody told you today, you deserve to hear it. And the other direction, 45 degrees to the left. Start close to you and then bring it out further each time. Let's face forward to the in-between stretch. Wrists rise and down, all the way around. Hands to. If any of my YMCA students are watching right now, I'd love to know if you've been going to the Y. And I think Jeffrey would know too, to see how you feel about that. We're going to bring the left hand all the way to the bottom of the right side of the neck. The right hand goes to the left lower back area. And you're going to look towards that right shoulder as far as is comfortable. Don't force yourself. You can just kind of like gaze to the right if you want. This is a very deep, deep stretch for the neck area. Bend the knees a little bit. Gently, slowly release that and bring the right hand to the left side of the neck, towards the bottom. The left hand goes towards the bottom of the right lower back and look towards the left, however is comfortable. Release. Press out. The more you feel the chi, sometimes the slower you go. And circle down. Good. I need a sip of coffee. I don't need it, but I would like it. Now, which one should we do next? Let's open up the legs. Interlace the fingers. And we're going to push down as you bend your knees. And then slowly come up. I have not gotten my usual 8 hours the past couple of nights because I'm working on the children's album. I'm going really hard because I've got deadlines. But it's good for us to do our best, even when we're in workaholic mode, to take time for self-care, our emotions, washing the dishes, little things that say, I love you, person that I'm always with, that I can never get rid of. It's going really well, Gertrud. It's challenging doing an album because there's so many choices how things can sound, but I'm working with an amazing team of people, musicians. I wish I could get you drumming on it, Gertrud. Maybe the next one. I think it's just good to remember that everything is a learning process. We can't know everything, but we can always just be creative. And trust our feelings. It's also a big test on trusting those instincts. Don't be mad. All right, so bring the left hand over your back of your heart, and the other hand on top. Now, if you have any blood pressure issues, just stay here, stay put. Otherwise, go ahead and bend over for 3 deep breaths. Also, bring the tongue to the roof of your mouth so you don't get dizzy. Slowly come up. We're going to switch the hands so the right hand is first and the left is on top of that, and come back down if you qualify for doing that. Beautiful. Once again, I love you and I love your emotions because I think more of us need to hear that. I don't like plastic lids though. So, and down. Stay hydrated. Drink that water. Don't do what I'm doing. Now we're going to bend the right knee. Okay. Might need to bring this down. Oh, there's RedEye. Bend the right knee and straighten the left. You can't exactly see everything I'm doing. But one day I will have a bigger studio, and maybe sooner than you think. Right hand up, looking at that middle finger. Hello, how are you? Sometimes I'm tempted to draw a face on it just because of doing this exercise. And then the left, hands in a fist behind you, and breathe. Thanks for sharing. Sharing is caring. Jabri, I see your note there in the chat box. other side. Here we go. Bend the left knee, straighten the right one. Wrist is up and behind you. Look at the little person on your middle finger. Hello. Oh, don't give yourself the middle finger. Two more breaths. Beautiful, people. Turn back to the right. Bend the left knee this time. This is opening for the hips, and we're going to do another hip exercise right after this one. Great for the sciatica as well. You're bending that left knee. You're straightening the right leg. I'm sorry, you can't really see what's going on here. No, I can't see my face. All right, I think you all get the idea. Bend the knee, the left knee, straighten the right. You're sitting back in the haunches. Haunted? No. And you are going to bring that left hand to the lower back. And the right hand, you're looking at Mr. Hand. Hi. And his dreadlocks, the fingers. And you're looking and you're breathing. Excellent. Other direction. Bend the right knee. Opening up that right hip. Straighten that left leg. Left hand up, right hand to the lower back. Look at Mr. Hand. Mr. Hand, don't you understand? We've got to take a stand. All across the land. Maybe form a band. Do you think we can? Maybe do a handstand with you hand in the right hand. And the adrenal gland gets lots of suntan, vitamin D, for immunity, immunity for immunity. This is what happens when I drink coffee. I get more silly. All right, wrist up and down. One of the first times I drank coffee was with my Aunt Clary in Israel. I was 12 years old. So that was fun. So I learned that coffee is a comfort thing for me. I don't need it to wake up though. Okay, so next we are going to, I think that's all the muscle tendon change. Oh, no, wait. Let's do one more muscle tendon change exercise. So wrists up and down, all the way around. Hands to your heart. Circle down. Now open up your legs wide, stance, and you're going to bring the belly button towards the thigh. You're going to bend the knee. Take a nice deep breath. Come up. Go back and forth, bending the knees. I'm reminded I need to vacuum my floor as I bring my face towards it. I'm so grateful that we have this live opportunity to still connect and do class together. You should be proud of yourself for making time for you today. Another high five. Wrist up and down. Hands to your circle down. That's a nice way to add a punctuation mark to the muscle tendon change exercise and the family who came up with those exercises. Gratitude to you. There are so many different families of Qigong and Qigong knowledge. And my main training is with the Grandmaster Fu and the Yimei medical Qigong family. I believe he started studying when he was 5. And so that Wu Qigong is what we usually do every Monday. But I have been doing it Wednesdays as well. But I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do some other things with the theme of emotional processing is okay. Because one of the most amazing things that I learned in Chinese medicine is that every organ processes different emotions for us. That's how real our emotions are. They're included in this ancient medicine, over 2,500 years old, 2,600 years old, probably longer, of this knowledge of meridians and energy flow, how your energy flows, and the emotional body is included in that body of knowledge. Very integral, I believe, to optimum health. So, what does digesting emotions even mean? Well, the cool thing about it is I'm going to show you which organs are for each emotion and then a stretch for those organs for the remainder of class. So, I talked about it in the beginning. I don't know if all of you were here in the beginning of class, but first of all, digesting emotions is a very simple concept. It's just creating time to not judge them and to be with them and ask yourself, why does this upset me? What am I feeling about this? Instead of judging yourself for feeling angry or sad or anxious. to take that time and chew on it. Now, additionally, Chinese medicine gives us the tool to look at the black and white of the emotions, the opposite sides of it. So, and that's like a little bit of the medicine, like homeopathy. Like, if I'm full of worry, the question is, where is my courage? It's like feeding yourself green juice and greens after you had sugar that depleted you of the minerals. So if you have a lot of worry, it's depleting you of courage. So if you focus on bringing courage into your life, then you're also processing that worry. So since we're talking about the stomach, we are going to do an exercise for the stomach. Now, as you do this, in addition to the intentions that you have for class, you are going to just meditate on, what am I worried about and how can I bring more courage to that situation, some more peace to that situation. And also to say my worry is valid, not to judge that and just throw it out with the wind. So also, someone had an intention for the hands. This is also a great exercise to do for the hands. It's the monkey, and it's for the stomach and the spleen, which helps with digestion, confidence. And so the opposite of worry is also thinking about your confidence and your motivation and your willpower. So that's a really interesting thing to think about. When you're worried, you're not confident. You're not bringing your confidence into the situation. So how do you bring more confidence into the situation if you're full of worry? Maybe it's confidence in someone else. Do you need to have confidence in other people right now? Or are you just worried that they're going to screw you over? Okay, so we step with the right foot, eat our imaginary food, throw out what you don't need from it, and digest all the gooey good minerals. Okay, then step with the left, and the left hand comes down. And we're just going to go around the room and do this while you think about bringing in confidence and releasing worry. What are you worried about? Just face it. Don't try to hide from it. Don't sweep it under the rug. It's valid. You're human. Now, can you marinate that worry with some confidence? Even having the confidence that you're okay to feel worried. And then if you want to share anything about that's come up about maybe not realizing you were worried about something, please share it in the comments, because I guarantee you somebody will be watching this video that needs to hear what you have to share and can get something out of it. Even if it's just the feeling that they're not alone in their feelings. Very good. At the end of each emotional awareness exercise, we are going to do a little sound bathing, just to honor that space even more. Fill yourself up with that love, with the confidence, with the courage. Notice your resistance to the confidence. Oh, people will think this about me. that's some more insecurity and more worry. It's like the more you fill yourself with the confidence, the more that stuff is coming out of you and you feel it. Just let it go. So the next one I'm going to do, I was about to say, because I'm worried we won't have time to do all. Well, I need to have confidence. We will. Is grief. Oh my goodness. So grief, people. I know so many of you, so many of my dear friends have lost loved ones in the past few years, you know. And some have lost, family members, which is so, so hard. So the lungs in Chinese medicine are the organs that process grief. Good grief. Now, the balancing emotion to grief is joy and is letting go. The element is metal. And what's made of metal? Swords, knives, cutting away what's not in our life anymore, letting it go, and having that power to release. There's grief, there's release. And then there's peace as well to fill in the void. So this is the lungs and the large intestine. As you know, physically, these are organs that let go. Breathing out the toxins with the lungs, pooping out what you don't need with the large intestine's help. So as we do the next exercise, think about what you're grieving about. Embrace the release of it. Grief is one of the most complicated emotions, filled with anger, sadness, depression, shock, all kinds of things. And fill yourself with peace and release. Link the thumbs together. Open up those legs. Bend over. 3 deep breaths. And slowly come up. Now, what is release? Release is toxin release, sweating, and expression. So one of the best things for grief is expressing yourself, whether it's expressing your grief or just grunting. In ancient times, they would hire grievers to come to funerals and loudly express grief just so other people would feel comfortable expressing, because that's a part of the healing process. So the next one is about expressing sounds, which is huge in Chinese medicine as well, making sounds to help the body. So you're going to open up your arms, lift one leg out. If you feel comfortable going on your tippy toes, and then pull in with some kind of sound. Ugh. Let it flow. Don't try to create something. You'll be surprised. Like, that sound came out of me. Back and forth. I usually start without going up on my toes, just to warm up a little bit. And then halfway through, I'll add a tippy toe. But it's hard to do in small spaces. Huh. Ugh. 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 Okay, Okay, people. You got some release, some relief from the grief, I hope. Now, if you all have been to my classes before, you are aware of the tiger exercise. As you probably guessed, the tiger is for the release as well. And the tiger is also for your lungs and your large intestine. We're going to move on to the deer. Now, the deer is for the liver and the gallbladder. Now, you would think what I just did was for anger because we were releasing. But the deer is actually helping with the emotions of anger because the liver is what helps to balance out the polarities of anger. Now, the opposite polarity of anger is flexibility, patience. What else? That's the main thing, flexibility and patience. And I know it's something else that's coming to me. The liver. So allow yourself to think about things that make you angry and fill yourself with patience. Now, I'm not saying to replace the anger with patience, but when you bring patience into the equation, what are you doing with the anger now? Are you able to chew on it and process it without feeling overwhelmed and anxious about it? Are you able to be patient with yourself? Forgiving to yourself, giving, and forgiving is also, oh yes, the energy that helps us to process anger. So I'm not saying get rid of your anger. I'm saying process it. And it's got to go through the processing center, like we're factories. Gratitude, that's the other one. Gratitude and appreciation, bringing those energies in, thanking your anger. That is huge. When you feel angry and you suddenly thank your anger, it's like the Othello chip is flipping over. You are no longer stuck in anger. You are honoring your anger because your anger is fuel. Your anger is chi. Your anger is energy. There's a reason why it's there. Be grateful for it. That turns it all around. Okay, so speaking of grateful, what better way to express that energy than to be a graceful deer? So we bring our horns on the top of our head. We bend our right knee. We bend both knees. The right heel is up. And we hop, bringing the left feet on the toes and lifting the right foot off the ground a little bit. And then gently bringing the hands down. Back and forth. Notice how you feel doing this. Meditate on bringing gratitude into your body. And just notice what that does to situations that you're angry about. How do you feel about your anger? If you think this video can help anyone, please share it. Someone might be festering in their anger right now, and they really needed this to get through it. Anger is a hard emotion to process. People criticize themselves right away. Especially a lot of women out there. It's not as acceptable for women to be angry, it seems. And it's not as acceptable for men to be sad, it seems. But we know all the emotions, all the rainbow of emotions are valid, whether you're a boy or a girl. I love you and all your emotions. Beautiful people. Okay, so let's move on to the kidneys and the bladder. So this is one of the ones that fascinates me the most in Chinese medicine. Um, oh, maybe we should move on to what Jabri is processing right now. He says he's very sad um, because of the lockdown, and he misses seeing everyone. So we did the grief exercise, but let's go ahead and do the sadness, and then we'll do the fear. So sadness is a definite emotion that we go through. We can be sad even when we're happy about life. There are things that can stimulate us, images that bring up sadness. Sadness in missing our friends, sadness in not being able to express ourselves. So, what's the opposite polarity of this is joy. So, when you think about things that you're happy about and that make you happy, um, sometimes it helps you feel your sadness even more. And like I said, we're not just trying to not feel sad, we're trying to complement it with the other color. It's like if I painted yellow, I might want to add some purple. Or if I painted red, I might want to add another color to complement it. So we're not unidirectional, we're human, we're the rainbow. So with that sadness, where is our joy? We don't want to bury the joy with sadness. We want there to be an even amount. So the opposite is the joy. So that's our heart, of course. Our heart processes our sadness and our joy. And perhaps it needs a little joy to process sadness, and perhaps it needs a little sadness to process joy. How do you know you're happy if you've never been sad? So, like a processing center, we feed the heart both of these things. So, let's just be aware of our joys and our sadness and be grateful for both as we do the exercise for our heart, which is the crane. We're going to bend the right knee, lift it up as much as we want. It can just be the heel, it can be the whole foot, arms spread like wings, and then step down and cross the wrists back and forth. This exercise really does feel like a hug to me. I don't know, it's just when I bring the hands down, this motion right here, it's like I'm hugging myself. Just give yourself a hug. You can give yourself a hug too. You don't have to stop there. Processing your emotions is okay, and it helps every aspect of your life when you do. It brings chi to your life. As you chew on the feelings that you need to process. You don't just sweep them under the rug. It's like if you ate a bunch of broccoli, what if the body just didn't want to process it and it just swept it under the rug and then it was just sitting in you for the rest of your life? That's not a good idea. Aw, hug. Dreams do come true. Now have that thought of hugging someone and fill yourself with joy. With the fact that you know what it feels like, that you know what a hug feels like, even. Okay, we're going to go the reverse direction for just a couple. We're going to cross the wrists, bring up the knee, and then spread the wings as the foot comes down. Notice the whole cushion of your foot coming to the ground, not just one side or the other. Relax your ankle with it. Okay, beautiful people. So as I was saying earlier, one of the organs that fascinate me probably the most are the kidneys and the bladder, which ironically are directly affected by coffee in not exactly a positive way. It just jumped out on my face. Did you see that? Was it kissing me? Oh my goodness. Wow. So now I have coffee perfume on. Coffee, cashew, coconut, mushroom powder, milk. Uh-oh, it's going down here. Well, the recording studio smells like coffee anyway, so I will fit right in. But that was fun. And I'm glad you all are still here after me being so weird and silly. Okay, the kidneys and the bladder fascinate me because processing fear fascinates me. I think it's directly, at least my teachers have told me also, it's directly related to bedwetting. Children who bedwet could have a fear issue. It could be anxiety, which the kidneys are processing by releasing urine. I know that there's biological stuff as well. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's fascinating that the body also processes fear through the bladder and the kidneys. And it makes so much sense with so many medical things that I've seen. I feel like there's an emotion we haven't talked about yet. And I think we can kind of clump it into the fear stuff. I know that I spoke about it a little bit with grief, and that's shock. So I do think when we do this exercise, we can also think about our shock and processing our shock and balancing it out with the polarity of those fear and shock emotions. And the polarity, I actually mentioned it in the stomach. It's courage, actually. So think about all the ways you're courageous in your life. Bring that color, and then just see how your fear feels after you recognize all this courage energy as well. So the kidney bladder thing, there's so many kidney bladder exercises that we can do. We're going to do the bear, the big, strong, courageous bear. You are going to embody that energy and see how to process your fear from the view of the bear. So we're going to step with the right foot. Right hand comes forward and left back. And then the left is forward. And then the right. How are you scared in your life? We all have silly fears, and doesn't mean they're any less valid. And then the left foot forward. I'm just going to kind of go back and forth, but hopefully you have the space to just step with the next foot and not just shuffle your feet. So you don't necessarily have to think of your fears. You can just embody your courage here. I think it's fair to say that insecurities could also be fears, and then to think about what you're secure in. Just like the bear is secure that he is strong or she is strong and steps with a surety. There's a lot of fear going around right now, isn't there? How do we add courage? Everywhere we go, how do we inspire people to feel courageous? How do we acknowledge their courage? What is your courage? How are you most courageous in your life right now? How would an outsider say, dang, he's got so much courage. Look at what they're doing. And you might not think twice about it, like, well, it just comes naturally to me. Other people might be like, wow, they've got a lot of courage to perform drums in public. And just a couple of these. Now we're going to step with the right foot and then just courageously move something out of your way. It could be a fear, it can just be something that's in your way. Get out of my way. I'm courageous. I can just get you out of my way with courage and not fear. The water energy helps us process our fear. Have you been by the water today or recently? The water helps you feel courage. Holding water is somewhat impossible unless you're a courageous container that is totally physicalized. It takes courage, people, to have a body, to be in this world. You made it. You passed the courage test just by existing in this reality. You are courageous, even if you don't realize it. Every day is a new adventure. Well, my friends, that brings us to the end of class here. I hope you enjoyed today. You are welcome to tip me if it's in your heart to, and you have the funds to do it. Aviva and the Flying Penguins at yahoo.com is my PayPal. I will add it to the description of this video. And it's also my email. If you have any questions, please hit me up. We are going to end by bowing out. But first, let's feel a ball of energy all together. And let's just send these polarities out to the world. Courage, joy, peace, release. What am I missing? Gratitude, flexibility, patience. What else? 1, 2, 3. It takes courage to create a better world, which I know all of you are doing. So it's tradition to bow out, optional bow. We thank the lineage holders of all this knowledge. Shi shi zhong shu. We thank all the teachers who have passed down and keep sharing this knowledge. Shi shi lao zhu. We fill our hearts with gratitude and compassion. And as we bow, we spread this out to the whole entire galaxy. Thank you for balancing the world with me by balancing your own energy and creating your chi. And I will see you on Monday.